back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 14 tips of the NRL. This is finally a full week, because last week it was obviously 4 games because of Origin period and that, so this week's going to be 8 games, which is good. So, it seems a bit more normal now, so I hope it's a good game, or good games this week I should say, and a good round of footy. And looking forward to it. Should be some alright matches coming up as I can see here. Before I start, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Currently at 2,226 subs, so looking to get to a mark of 2,050 by the next couple of weeks. That's a new aim for me. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I would hope and hope you can, and you wouldn't regret it if you did, because I do all types of NRL content here, do full rugby league stuff, etc. So if you're into that, I think this is the right channel for you. But other than that, just enjoy the video and enjoy my tips for round 14. So the first game is the Cowboys versus the St. George Illawarra Dragons. So on to the first game. So going through both sides. So going for the Cowboys home side first. Todd Payton has named the same 17 as last week, so basically no changes. Val Holmes, Jeremiah Nanai, Tom Dearden, and Ruben Cotter have all amongst the reserves. So I guess particularly Holmes, Nanai will be tested, and Cotter to see they back up on Wednesday from Origin on Friday when they play Dragons. Brendan Elliott keeps his spot on the wing. Ben Hampton has started again, pending on the availability of Tom Dearden. And that's the only change there for the Cowboys. As for the Dragons, just one change to the Dragons this week. That is Jane Sullivan joining the bench and Tyro Fuimaano dropping off the team. So they're the only changes there for the Dragons. And Ben Hunt and Tarek Sims will need backup from Origin as well. They're fit to play on Friday. In this game, who I'm going to go with, I think the Cowboys will be a bit too strong at home. They should win. The form they're in, it's hard to even go against them at any point. So I think the Cowboys will win by about 12 points, 1 to 12. And my first try scorer is going to be Brendan Elliott on the wing. And my anytime try scorers, I guarantee Tom Gilbert will score 1. And I also guarantee that Murray Taulagi will score 1. And as for the Dragons, I can see it's a tough one. I reckon Zach Lomax will get a try. And I'm going to go with a bit of a roughie here. I'm going to go with Francis Moller to score against his old club. I'm going to go with that. On to the next game now. It is the Titans versus the Rabbitohs on the Saturday at 3 p.m. The first game of 3 on the Saturday. So Titans versus Rabbitohs. Should be an interesting game to see if Titans even, show anything after they've been pretty awful the last couple of weeks. And as for South, they just need a win because South haven't been in the best sort of form either. Looking at the Titans team though, so Jane Campbell's out for a long time because of a hamstring injury, so this means that AJ Brimson goes to fullback, while Paul Turner will make his club debut at 5'8", and Corey Thompson is out of a knee injury, so he's replaced by Greg Marvs on the wing, and Patrick Herbert comes into the centres for Isan Masters, and Tino has been named the lock, pending on his Origin if he backs up from Queensland, and that means Isaac Lee pushing up to prop and Mikey Fodawaker to the bench as well. As for Souths, Cameron Murray and Jai Arrow take part in Origin on Wednesday night and have 3 days to get through or over any bumps and bruises. So they have question marks they'll back up. Totola returns from a head knock at prop, and Mark Nichols moves to the bench and Shaka Mitchell drops out. Mamuzelos is a new face in the interchanger, and Blake Taff will go into jersey 18. And Tane Miller has moved to the centres and a swap with Jackson Pulu, who goes to wing. In this game, I'm going to go with Souths. Pretty simple. I think they'll be way too good. Souths 13+, Souths by 20. I'm going to go Johnson for a double. I think Jackson Pulu will score a try. I also see Campbell Graham scoring a try. And I think I'm going to see a Ford scoring as well. I think you'll find out that Cameron Murray might score a try. And as for Titans, I think both Fermor will score. And I like Marzu coming in the set side this week. I think he'll score as well. On to the next game now. It is the Roosters and the Storm. A pretty much of a blockbuster game. A game I'm looking forward to, actually. So, Roosters and Storm at the SCG, Sydney Cricket Ground, Roosters home game. So, game for the Roosters team now. So, James Tedesco has been named at fullback to back up from Origin. So, we'll see how he goes. And Joseph Minor goes to the centres. And Kevin Nguama drops to the reserves. As for Daniel Tupou, he has also been named. And Maroon's prop, Lindsay Collins, has also been named to back up from Origin too. Which means Fletcher Baker reverts to the bench, and Daniel Suluka drops out, and Warrior Hargreaves was late with withdrawal from the Raiders game with a hamstring injury, but remains sidelined. And as for the Storm, Nelson is set to return from an injury in the boost for the Storm, and Harry Grant has been named to start after missing round 12 due to a adductor injury. And Kamika and Smith reverts to the bench, and Alec McDonald with an illness is also back this week. Munster, Kafusi, Coates, Grant we'll all have 3 days to recover from Origin 1. Interesting. Well, looking at both sides, I think, Storm would be the clear favourites, but, I'm not going to underestimate the Roosters. The Roosters are a fair chance on Saturday. I really do think they can win this game. You know what? I'm going to take the upset. I think the Roosters will beat the Storm. You heard it here first. I think the Roosters can win. They've got pretty much everyone back this week, apart from maybe Hargreaves. And I know Tedesco, Super, and Collins will have to back up from Origin and that. But I definitely think that, looking at Storm with Munster, Coates, who else? Grant, Kafusi. I feel like not all of them will play. I don't think all of them will play. They'll miss a couple. And I'll tell you what, if Munster's out and Grant's out, I think they'll struggle, Melbourne. Especially since Pappenhausen's still not back yet, who we've already seen has been a pretty big loss. So, I don't know. I do have a feeling the Roosters can win this one. I do think the Roosters can win an upset game. And you know what? I'm tipping Roosters by 2 points. I'm going to go Tedesco for a try if he plays. I'm going to go Manu for a try. And I think Sawali will score too. As for Melbourne, I think Olin will score. I do think Coates will score if he plays. And off the bench, I think Brandon Smith will score against his future club. So, Roosters by 2. And on to the last game of Super Saturday. It is the Broncos versus the Raiders at Suncorp Stadium up there in Brisbane at 7:35 p.m. Yeah, look, this will be an interesting game too. Broncos in good form, and Raiders have been in better form recently too, so this should be a good contest. Going for the Broncos team, Adam Reynolds is out with a hamstring. He's back from a hamstring injury, I should say. Apologies for that. So he's back this week, moving to halfback with Ezra Mann moving to 5'8", and Tyson Gamble's out with a lower leg injury. Kurt Capewell is set to be rested for this week because of Origin, which means TC Rabati is named in his place in the back row. And Blues reps, Payne Haas, Tony Staggs, and Maroon's pair, Selwyn Cobbo and Pat Carrigan are all in the 17 so far, but that's pending if they all back up, so we'll see how they go. And then as for the Raiders, Rapana's serving a 1-game ban from his dangerous contact on James, dangerous contact from last week. And James Schillier joins the starting side on the wing. And Jack White and Josh Papali have both been named to play from Origin, pushing Matt Freud to reserves and Corey Horsburgh back to the bench. So, and Harry Runara back from COVID, so he returns to the bench, and Trey Moody goes to reserves. My tip for this game, look, I think the Broncos will be a bit too good, but I'm not going to tip Broncos by 13+. I do think this will be a tight game. I do think Raiders will turn up and show a bit of fight. Canberra have been in good form, so I'm not going to take anything away from them the way they've been playing. So they'll be competitive. Don't worry, they'll be competitive. But I think Broncos might have a bit more class, and since it's at Suncorp, they should win. So Broncos by probably 10 points. And I think Corey Oates will score a try. If he plays, Colbert will definitely score one. He scores every week. Bloody hell. And I think also in the back row, I like Tisa Rabati, who starts this week, so I think he'll get a try as well. And as for the Raiders, I think Nick Kotrick might get a try. I'm going to go Sebastian Chris for a try as well. And I'm also going to back in close to line Joe Tarpany. I think he'll get one this week. On to the first game of Sunday. It is the West Tigers versus Manly Sea Eagles. And this game is played at Campbelltown Sports Stadium, or Campbelltown Stadium, just to put it that way. 2 p.m, so this will be another interesting game. Tigers well, they've lost Madge, and they've had a couple of dramas recently, so it'll be interesting to see how they go with all that happening. And as for Manly, they got a much-needed win against the Warriors last week, so I'm sure they'll take a lot of confidence out of that. And DC is back this week, so that should help in a way, I imagine, as well. But yeah, looking at Tigers' team, though, David Nofaluma returns to the wing from being dropped, so he starts in the wing. And hooker Jacob Little, head knock, is also back on deck. Jock Maiden grabs a bench spot over Manu Brown, goes to the reserves, which I actually like Brown. I don't know why he got moved. And Adam Dewey is closing on a return from a knee reconstruction, and he is not going to play this week, but he'll be back probably in another week or two. And as for Manly, David Cherry Evans has been named the halfback to back up from Origin. Depends if he will, but I assume he will. So he starts at the halfback, and Kieran Ford moves to 5'8". Josh Schuster goes to the bench, and Carl Lauder, unfortunately, will miss the rest of the season due to a ruptured ACL, which is absolutely terrible. So yeah, that means Davey keeps his spot in the back row too, and Schuster to the bench. And Taniela Paseka is named as the 18th man on the reserve, so it depends if he'll come in. But yeah, going through my tip now, I think Manly should be too good. I expect us to win. I'll go Manly by probably 14 points, but I'm not going to underestimate the Tigers. The Tigers, they could play a lot better without Mage now. You never know. This could galvanise their squad, but we'll see. Hopefully, Manly don't take the Tigers lightly at Campbelltown too. I think the try scorers will be Saab for Manly. I think Harper will score. I think Oliver Kawatu will score, and I think Croker will score a try as well. And as for the Tigers, I think Nofluma will score on his return, and I also think that Mamalo will score. And yeah, that's my tips there for the game. On to the very next game on Sunday. It is Knights and the Panthers at McDonald Jones Stadium up there in Newcastle. Game kicks off at 4:05 p.m. So I'll go for the Knights team first, as they're the home side. A boost to the Knights actually this week is Kurt Mann, named to return from an ankle injury. So he starts for the Knights, pushing fingers crossed into reserves. Jacob Saifidi moves into the starting side to replace his brother Daniel, who is out with a knee injury. Leo Thompson comes on to the bench. Callum Ponga and Dan Gagai have both been named to play so far, depending on origin. And Tex Hoy is listed among the reserves and could slot into fullback if Ponga doesn't back up. As for the Panthers, Nathan Cleary, Martin, Yeo, Crichton, Toto, Luai have all been named so far by Cleary to back up, but we'll see if they all do. The only change to their squad is that Cowboy to beat the only change from their win against the Cowboys the other week was Matt Eisenhuth earning a spot on the bench ahead of Spencer Leniu, so that should stay. And the likes of Sean O'Sullivan, Kurt Forbes, and Chris Smith are listed in the reserves this time. But as for this game, who I'm tipping, I think Panthers will be a bit too good. I expect them to win pretty well. I'll go Panthers by 16, 13 plus. And I think for the Knights, try scorers will be Dominic Young. I think Frizzell might score. And for the Panthers, I like Taylor May for first try. And I also think that Leon McKikiau and Toto will score any time as well. On to the very next game on Sunday. Oh boy, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. The Sharks will win by probably 22 points. Big win, 13 plus. Anytime, Tracy, Molatalo, and Talakai. And as the Warriors, I don't know, Montoya, I guess, might get a try, and maybe Yornakin. But Sharks too good. Just going to keep it nice and simple. And now on to the last game, round 14. It is the Queen's birthday game. So this is a different fixture for this year. Obviously, every year it's been the Dragons and the Bulldogs for the Queen's birthday match. But this year it's changed. It's now the Bulldogs and the Eels who've come in to replace the Dragons. So I guess that's to make it a bit more competitive, a bit more of a meaning towards it, because obviously Bulldogs and Eels are big rivals. So I guess that's sort of the reason why it's now that. Dogs and Eels on the Queen's birthday Monday. So a public holiday as well, which I'll enjoy. So yeah, looking at both sides, as the Bulldogs will go through first. Jacob Avila has been named the fullback. Corey Allen has stayed in the centres for this week. And Matt Duffy still's out from being dropped. As for the forwards now, Pango Jr. is listed among the reserves, so it could be a late call-up. Luke Thompson remains sidelined due to an injury he got with his shoulder, I'm pretty sure. And, concussion, sorry. And yeah, that's the only changes there for the Dogs. And as for the Eels, Micah Seaver makes a big return this week from a knee reconstruction he got last year in round 23. So first time back since August or September last year. So that's good to see. Michael Blake moves to the centres and Tom Opachik drops out to the 18th man role. And Will Pinasini suffered a head knock in round 12, but it's good to go. And Origin reps, Ryan Madison, Junior Puller, and Regan Campbell-Gillard have all been named to play this week. But we'll see how they go come game day. My tip for this game, I'm going to go Eels to win, but I'm not going to say it's going to be a big win. I think Eels might be challenged a bit here because Dogs usually do turn up for games like this and Queen's birthday and stuff. So I think Eels win by about 6 points. I think it's going to be a very tight, gritty sort of game. My anytime try scorers, I think Ado Carl's going to score for the Dogs. I think young Jacob Kiraz will score a try as well. For Parramatta, I'm confident Sevo will score in his return. And I also think that Morani or Correa might score any time too. But anyway, that's my tips around 14 of the NRL. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also become a Pro Mensa Vids member. Sign up today and get exclusive access to free perks and different type of content that no one else has seen before unless you're a member. So if you're interested in becoming a Pro Mensa Vids channel member, the link is in the description down below. So go and sign up if you want to. And yeah, anyway, that's it. Brings it into the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.